Now I was hyped for her to release this song. This is Iyah May, Good Citizen. We're going to get right into this video right now. Remember to be your authentic self, especially in times like this. Stand up for what you believe in and understand that mastered individuals coming together in a community is very, very strong. So keep that in mind. You know, make sure you master yourself and go within, especially in times like this. Anyways, let's get to the song and get to a couple things out the way. And let's hope that this song does not make my neurochip fry me. Neurochip. I was trying to make that stupid joke of my Neuralink going off in 2035 for a tweet. Not an original joke, by the way. But yeah, anyways. Much love. Let's get into this. Now, I really want to keep in my heart that Iyah May is not some sort of controlled opposition. Maybe I'll get to personally talk to her one day, have her on the channel for an interview like I did Max Igan. Even then, when I did Max Igan, people were telling me he was, you know, a Freemason or how did I do that, blah, blah, blah. I just manifested it. But this, you know, I like to think that she's definitely someone going against, you know, she's independently funded or funded with, you know, the help of people who watch her or support her in her personal life. Because I heard her story about being a doctor and like being let go because of the music she was making. And, you know, I hear that story for a lot of artists who decide to go against the machine. But I am definitely not unaware that some of these people can also be plants. Like it's not far-fetched. You can kind of tell because they slip up somewhere. Not saying she has. She's been, in my opinion, putting out bangers. And even if she was some sort of controlled opposition or keeping awareness on like what's going on, at least it's still, you know, awareness being put on the things that are happening to us. Now, that's not me to claim any of that. So listen to me right now. I'm not saying she's controlled opposition or some sort of plant, but just be mindful. There are conscious artists, I would say, that are put in the industry to, you know, pretend they're trying to elevate the consciousness. Just letting you know. Just letting you know. I don't think that about her though, but I just want to make that aware. But all right, let's dive into this because she's a dope artist. And okay, here we go. All the clips of this song I've loved. I'm waiting for the official video. Let's go.
Keep up the pawn, keep up the cans, keep up the wall, keep up the revs, keep up the dance, giving them more.
Let's go.
Stay silent, stay violent, stay plugged in and divided. Cool, now let's get rid of the cash. Digital ID and let's turn out the top ash. Mr. Teal, Mr. Anderson, they warned us with the blue pill on the test before they do it in the movies.
Yeah. Yep. Been saying that for years.
So they killed Charlie and they killed Marley, both the Kennedys and Marilyn. They killed Diana and they killed Jackson. We are the legacy, this is their anthem. Stay silent, stay violent, stay plugged in and divided. Bombs drop from heaven just like hail. Drag your own through the night, well done is right.
Ooh, was that bombs dropped from heaven?
Drag your own divided. Bombs drop from heaven just like hail.
Interesting. Interesting.
When the altar and a ballot and a barrel shooting me. Cleanse the country, kill the children, Mr. Baby. How do you say? This isn't a willing
Ooh, this. Ooh, oh man, this part of the song is heat. Ooh. I can like, that's cool. Oh my gosh, I almost wish that was like the freaking majority of the song. I should have worn headphones for this. Yeah. Yeah. That was fire.
Keep up the cans, keep up the wall, wall, wall. Keep up the revs, keep up the dance, giving them more. Stay silent, stay violent, stay plugged in and divided. Cool down, let's get rid of the cash. Digital lighting and let's turn off the top. Mr. Teal, Mr. Anderson, they want us with the blue pill on the toast before they do it in the buildings like it ain't real.
Bro, this is my favorite part of this song for sure. Like this. Ooh, man. Damn. Oh, even how her, bro, hold on. Even how her voice shakes when she's like, can kill my flesh, not my spirit. And then that ooh is like a ooh, like a shake. Oh man, it like captures the emotion of the song very well. There's other aspects, but I'm gonna let the song play. Oh man.
Strings around the thread. This isn't only a dream. Strings around the thread.
Where's the one part? Yeah. Oh, it's ethereal. Bro, hold on. That part was ethereal. Okay. Facts. Oh, this is the part. Okay, this is the part that I've seen.
You perceive what lies beneath the surface.
Alan Watts.
Glimpse the truth behind the polite illusion. You are faced with a terrible choice. Do you speak or do you remain silent? If you speak, you disturb the dream. If you stay silent, you disturb your soul. This is not a simple dilemma. It's an ancient tension between truth and belonging, between authenticity and acceptance. When you speak, when you dare to name what others deny, you risk being cast out. And not always gently.
Oh man, oh my gosh. I started to tear up for the end. Every time I hear that clip, because I heard the clip on Instagram a few times. Oh dude, it makes me tear up hearing the Alan Watts clip, because I don't think people realize how true that is when you start going down the deeper levels of awakening. Like, in my perspective, how I'm interpreting what he's saying goes beyond even what's going on here with this. Like, to truly see what's going on in reality and try to speak about it, you disturb the dream. But the dream is the thing that we're living in right now, where when you speak and disturb the dream, it's like the slumber that everyone is under. You know, what it is to be awakened, or what the original meaning of woke meant. That neither side is fighting for you, you know. I'm gonna touch back on that, but that this world is just really not what it seems. Oh, dude, that messes me up, that part with Alan Watts in this song. At first, I was like listening, and I'm like, is that not in this song? Dude, I have to go back and like listen to this before I even talk about it. Hang on. I gotta play this a couple times. That ethereal part too. Oh man. It's cool because you got the lyrics right down below, but I think I'll just talk about some aspects of the song I like first. First of all, love the cover art, dude. I think the like long nails, I don't know if there's some symbolism behind that or in what culture like that is, but I've seen that before, and I think it's just like a cool touch. Don't know if they just like thought that would be fire, but the, you know, I don't know, really done well. I like the whole part too, where it's like the war, that part is very, very cool. And I think this is my favorite part of the song. The chorus, whatever this is, the hook. It's funny, I've been a dancer for so long and I really don't know the structure of songs. Verse 1, verse 2, and then it's... Because, like, I'm counting also, but yeah. But I love that. Puppet strings are under threat, you know. It's just... that to me is like, again, the elites are kind of getting desperate. But yeah, man, it's... And again, this is actually why, like, again, I don't think she's a plant. I'm still going to keep my hopes up that she is not, man, because people who go out and do this and get numbers for doing this, it's just... But anyways, let's go. You know, right here. Oh, you're, you know, I don't know if I want to say that in video. Or you want peace. You're just a citizen. You're still on a leash. It doesn't matter which team you choose. At the end of the game, you lose. You're just a chess piece on a board full of Vaders. And it's true, man. This is like the one thing that I tried to tell people so much in my videos, you know, and especially when I see I don't want to say a lot of my people, but I'll say like people who look like me. They're trapped in the game, man. They're like, oh, you should care about politics because this and this. And I'm like, yo, we need to care about people. Like, and people have this fight, this war in here. I'm going to use this video to say it. People are like, oh, but if you don't do politics, politics will do you. And politics are in everything. Yeah, politics, but politics have multiple layers that people don't address. There's like there's you know, there's like politics in the gaming industry, politics over here, certain politics about certain, I would call them subgenres of things that go on in life. But like people are talking about politics when specifically for referring to left and right, Democrat, Republic. And the thing is remember, this is all about division, red versus blue. Think about this. I don't see a lot of people even connect this nowadays, but there's a correlation there. Bloods and Crips, Republicans and Democrats. That's a saying from B.O.B., a fire thing. And also another thing that she said that I like, that, you know, about the silence, us staying silent. Another artist said that, you know, silence is their consent for them to consistently RAPE us. And I mean, seriously, it's like, you guys, like, if you're hard on the left or hard on the right, you're low key losing the game. You're succumbing to exactly what they want you to succumb to, the division, you know? And I hear some people say, if you're not into politics, like, well, like, you know, what was it? I think, who was it? Some people quote, you know, MLK. I think MLK said, if you don't pick a side and you're someone who just stays in the middle, that's like the same. It's like even worse than not picking a side. That is like the biggest, like, I feel like propaganda type of statement when it's coming from the same guy that said, damn, I feel like I just indoctrinated my people into a burning house. Because he probably had good intentions in the beginning, as most people do. But then when the system got him, he was, you know, I'm getting a little bit of goosebumps saying this, but even he woke up and was like, oh shit, I messed up. Like, what am I in? It's like, bro, you guys really think you're about to game the system by voting and all this? Bro, no. Like IMA says, it doesn't matter what team you choose. At the end of the game, you lose. Like, it's straight there. So I do like that she said that. Specific lyrics do make me feel like someone is not a plant, because it's true. Like, to me, that's true. That just speaks to what I believe in my soul, man. I knew to leave that stuff alone a long time ago. And yo, and what's crazy is I just found out, funny enough, because, you know, it's the topic of the song, so I'll say it. I just found out that Nepal, that like Gen Z uprising thing, was funded by the US government. And I didn't look into it deeper, but I seen a content creator cover it and I said, oh my gosh, I have to look into that. Are you serious? No, I didn't have my assumptions that it was completely grassroots, but wow. You know, it makes sense. It makes sense because genuinely, if anything is going to get started, and I've seen one content creator say this, any uprising you try to start or anything gets started or some Discord group, you better believe you probably got like already 5 or 6 agents in there if it's a cause that starts growing. That's even why I had to stop my commentary rampage. It's like, I'm not going to stop talking about these things, but it's just like, hopefully the individual who watches this video, the person who's awakening, because we're going to touch on the Alan Watts part towards the end for the people who are more esoteric and spiritual. That, you know, this is really about a time of going within and not paying attention to this stuff. Paying attention to it so you know what's going on, but understanding it's really about love thy neighbor, bro. Can't be any of this left or right. But yeah, keep up the PORN, keep up the chems, keep up the war. I guess it doesn't matter because I listened to the song and she said it. I'm over here censoring myself. Keep up the reps, keep up the dems, giving them more and more and more. Stay silent, stay violent, stay plugged in, divided. Again, metaverse, AI, all this inorganic push. It's just like, it's coming. It's like all of it's coming. Get ready. Again, like, cool, let's get rid of the cash, digital ID, let's turn up the tax. Mr. Teal, Mr. Anderson, they warned us with the blue pill, and they told us before they do it in the movies like it ain't real. Again, yeah, movies I can think of that came to mind when I had my awakening were Truman Show. Some people see Truman Show or shows like, well, Truman Show is actually a really good example because it's based on Truman. But if you really have the eyes to see, you'll realize it's talking about the true you, man. It's you. They're talking about what's going on. And guess where he was? When they zoomed out of where Truman was in this sort of town, like, I don't want to spoil it for those of you who want to watch it, but I'll just keep it short, is essentially he was in a whole fabricated reality with product placements and everything. And it's very funny because it mirrors reality, not as theatrical, sometimes theatrical, but it mirrors the same things we go through. So it's funny, you know. And then when she said Mr. Teal, Mr. Anderson, I don't know if, I know she's talking about Peter Thiel here, right? Mr. Anderson, is that actually a guy? Or is the whole Mr. Anderson going to the Matrix? Is it a double meaning here? Because I thought, when I heard Mr. Anderson, I instantly thought of the Matrix. Anytime you're going to hear pills with a color, it's going to be the Matrix, right? But, yeah, man, they show in a lot of movies. There was like, I don't remember what happened with the, you know, the whole 2020 thing, but I'm pretty sure there was a literal documentary or something that dropped before it happened. Another scary time where Harvard trained doctors were silenced. That was a crazy time to see. Literally, I was watching the posts in real time of doctors coming out and saying things, getting silenced. That was crazy. Anyways, yeah, Billy Gates, he makes a profit off of disease, buys up farms and patents what we eat. Him and Pfizer got $1 trillion dream. You can go depopulate the elites. That's a crazy statement, but all right. She said what she said. Boy, oh, she goes hard with that. That line right there was crazy. But yeah, that's another thing, man. Like, if anyone tries to defend these people, it's very odd. Like, you can look into Bill Gates and some of the interviews, and it's really wild. It's just out there. It's just out there. I think the dude was investigated, but of course, nothing's gonna happen, right? You know, like, you know, that's what I'm saying. And then Pfizer, whew. But yeah, so they killed Charlie and they killed Marley, both of the Kennys in Maryland. They killed Diana and they killed Jackson. Yeah, Jackson, another one. I don't know if she's talking about who I think, but I'm probably on the money. Marley, I'm thinking Bob Marley, right? Charlie, we know who. Kennedy's, yeah. But, oh man, like, yeah, if you go to Jackson's album, he has a lot of symbolism and is trying to show you what's going on too. I'll get into the spiritual aspect maybe in another video. But look up any video about the symbolism with his checkered board on the floor and the whole duality thing and the Masons and the double columns. It's all around. They're like, these artists are dropping hints. But yeah, we are their legacy. This is their anthem. That's fire. This is fire, bar. But yeah, man, what I thought this bar right here was initially, like, bombs drop from heaven just like hail. I'm thinking, right? Is it like that? Is it intentionally sound like that? Like bombs drop from heaven? This, you know what? Going by my interpretation. That's what I do in songs anyways, right? Bombs drop from heaven just like hail. I thought, you know, because in the beginning of the song, this is how I'm just interpreting it, is she said it doesn't matter which team you choose. Getting a little bit conscious and esoteric here, but bombs drop from heaven just like hail. It sounds like, you know, like hail, of course, you know, certain German salute, but also bombs drop from heaven just like hell because it's the same It's basically the same thing. We're like in a purgatory, so it's like they're dropping from heaven and hell, but also above because of heaven. But anyways, you know, that was just a thought, because I was like, earlier when she said it doesn't matter what team you choose, I'm like, you know. But yeah, dragged your own through the mud. Well done. You know who? When the altar and the ballot and the barrel shouldn't meet, cleanse a country, kill the, yeah. Mr. BB, how do you sleep? Yeah. Whew. Ah, man. And I love, man, that this is an Orwellian wet dream. I'm not saying that I love that this is Orwellian. I'm talking about the lyrics here. But yeah, puppet strings are under threat. Burn our souls to power the machine. Kill my flesh, but not my spirit. And that shaking in her voice, fire. Are you a wolf in a world full of sheep? Puppet strings are under threat. Love that, dude. And then I think the Palantir Watch Us Like Hawks and everything, that was in the middle of the song, right? Palantir Watch Us Like Hawks, and BlackRock is black to its core. Funding the digital war. Starmer like Judas on tour. Crazy. Now be a good civilian while the folks on the hill keep making billions. Yeah, man. Who's ready to hear the full uncensored? When is this? I don't know when this. What this quiz? What is this one censored? No, right? But yeah, I want to know what this. Look at, may your authentic existence be a wonderful act of rebellion. You see what I'm saying? Love that. Now let's touch on the Alan Watts thing that almost made me cry like a little baby, because this is a really important part to the song to me. Very, very very genius to end the song with this. I feel like any song that like has like quotes from any metaphysical spiritual type of person, I don't really know what he was considered, but I just say spiritual for lack of like truly knowing. But
once you perceive what lies beneath the surface,
once you perceive what lies beneath the surface,
you glimpse the truth behind the polite illusion. You are
I think once you peer the truth behind the what?
the truth behind the polite illusion. You are faced
I don't know. In my opinion, I would just say, like, just keep it at that. Once you peer the truth of reality behind the veil.
with a terrible choice. Do you speak or do you?
Yeah, man.
You are faced with a terrible choice.
You're faced with a terrible choice.
Or do you remain silent?
Do you speak or do you remain silent?
If you speak, you disturb the dream. If you stay silent, you disturb your soul. This is not a simple dilemma.
If you speak, you disturb. If you speak, you disturb the dream. If you don't speak, you disturb your soul.
It's an ancient tension between truth and belonging, between authenticity
Yep, an ancient tension between truth and belonging.
and acceptance. When you speak, when you dare to name what others deny, you risk being cast out, and not always gently.
Yeah, man, that's what this all is, man. Because to me, in my own beliefs, if you really want to commune with God and get kicking with God and find that state of enlightenment and gnosis, it's this process. You have to be your most authentic self, in my own opinion and my thing of what I believe, you know. But and to be authentically you is to literally disrupt the very system you live in. But it yields the best results if it can be managed and done properly. Which done properly just means if you could withstand what comes, the polarization of being you, speaking out about the things that'll have you cast it out, like he said. Because there are dreamers that don't want to wake up from this. There are people that want to stay asleep. There are going to be people, it's duality. There are going to be people that want to take the digital ID and think there's absolutely nothing wrong. And you've got to be prepared what you may run into out there in the system. But again, remember, love bar that stays in my heart to this day, that is on B.O.B.'s final installment of The Elements. What was it called? Space Time. He had a bar where he said, the system can never fail those that it was never meant to protect. And the way I interpret that and take that is just like, this system wasn't made for people who wake up out of the dream. You're meant to wake up, rise above it, and realize the divinity within you and not fear any of this that's happening. Like she said, you can kill the flesh, but you can't kill my spirit. Same thing I would say for me. You know, like it just is what it is, bro. We're so powerful in spirit. This is like nothing that goes on in this world can hold you down. But man, that the end part of the song really gets me, because it's like that's been the struggle on my channel and everything I do forever, man. I want to speak out about this stuff sometimes, but then I'm just like, dude, I don't got it in me to keep talking about it, because you keep it in your awareness. And it's like, that's not the world I'm trying to create. I'm trying to keep my focus on like everything turning out better for the better. Yeah. So that's why I like to pay my respects to these artists that do it and then move on, because again, to me, I feel like it's all a game of achieving, basically recognizing your divinity within you. And if you can bring others along, which they have to do it for themselves, but if you find a community of people that are doing that same thing and just putting the light out into the world, hey, stay on the path and reach divinity for yourself. And yeah, don't worry about the casting out, but the casting out is the one thing that's like one of the hardest parts of the journey. And just like Alan Watts said, it's not always gentle. It's not. And I can attest to that. So yeah, I've got called crazy and a bunch of other things, but I don't care. Anyways, super fire song. Shout out to Iyah. She's a beast. And I'll see you on the next one. Peace.